But what we need to understand is, what are some of the reasons for this record inflation? And for this, we go across to WION's business editor, Sumit Chaturvedi, for more insight. Now, Sumit, could you just walk us through some of the major factors that are driving these record numbers?
Well, absolutely, Haim. So first of all, let's try to understand how are these numbers going to, where have they come from actually? So let's begin with, first of all, the biggest thing that happened over the last few years was COVID-19. And at that point of time, there were many packages announced, but in February, Ukraine-Russia war began. And from there, what started was a spiraling of crude prices. They almost doubled, and from there, the overall world felt the heat of high crude prices. Stimulus packages were announced during COVID-19 period. So a gush of good money or huge money, it came for many countries in the world, and the demand was more, and the overall goods were less because supply chain problems were there. People were reeling under supply chain problems. The companies were not able to produce many goods because of chip shortage. So that's what led to more demand and less supply. And that is the classical example. That's how inflation is defined, and that's how inflation started. And now it's been going on because the demand is more, the money in the hands of people is there, but goods are not there. And that's how the inflation started. So supply chain problems is one of the biggest reason why it started. Money was there because the banks were doling out packages one after the other during COVID-19 times. Remember, in US, they were giving money to people who were getting vaccinated. So that's how the money came to economy, but the goods were not there, and that's led to overall supply chain problems and mismatch in demand and supply, leading to inflation. So one of the biggest causes is, first of all, COVID-19. We can say that COVID-19 packages and Ukraine-Russia war. And quick recovery in demand, that's what people did not anticipate. There was revenge travel, revenge buying, revenge shopping. So people were out with money, but there were no goods, and that's what has led to inflation, the record high inflation we are talking about day and night nowadays. Back to him.
Thank you so much, Sumit, for walking us through all the factors that have led to this. Let's also now talk about India. The Indian rupee today weakened to hit record lows against the US dollar. Traders expect dollar selling intervention by the central bank to slow the slide in rupee, but expect it to touch levels of 80 to the dollar in the near future. Government data show today that India's annual wholesale price-based inflation kept above 15% in June, but the slight easing from the prior month's three-decade high of 15.88% strengthens prospects for more rate hikes next month by the central bank. And for more on this, once again, we're joined by Sumit Chaturvedi, WION's business editor. Now, Sumit, we have to talk about the impact of inflation on India and what are the measures that are being taken to tackle this?
Let's begin by two big data numbers that have come over the last 1 week. CPI, the numbers came 7.8% for June. It is better than what was expected. It has cooled down, in fact, but it is still not in the range of 4 to 6% of RBI's tolerate zone. Today, WPI numbers, the wholesale price index numbers have come. They're 15% and they're cooled down, but still not up to the benchmark of RBI. So India, yes, it has been impacted. Inflation still high here, but there are certain positive factors that are playing for the economy here as well. As far as oil is concerned, India is equally damaged by the high oil prices because India imports 80% of the crude demand for itself. That is what has led to record high inflation in India as well. But yes, the government has taken a number of steps over the last few months, beginning with first cut in excise duty on petrol and diesel. Later on, overall, the wheat exports were banned. There is restructuring of duty on certain metal items like steel. So all this has led to certain kind of bringing down some kind of inflationary pressures. But yes, the common man is being now damaged more than ever by inflationary pressures. Inflation in overall, we can say that the household items has jumped. The normal day-to-day commodities have jumped. So that is what is leading to the pressure on a common man. And India is not clearly aloof from the world when it comes to inflationary pressures. Yes, in US it's high, but interest rates are being risen there as well. In India also, interest rate hikes have come. So inflation is one of the biggest problem for India's central bank also, which is now going to raise interest rates one more time after successively it has raised interest rates over the last few meetings. So India is clearly not aloof from the world when it comes to global inflationary pressures. We are also reeling under all this. We have seen the rupee also now sliding every day. Today it touched nearly 80 to $1. It has been coming down from the last 4 days. The markets here are crashing as well since the Russia-Ukraine war started, but inflation is also one of the reasons why it is crashing. One of the reasons why inflationary pressures leading to some kind of glutton economy is that the interest rates are being risen by RBI, which is leading to less investments by corporates and into more new investments. And that's all leading to the problems in the economy. And as the world is getting into kind of recession mode, India is still better, we can say that, but still not completely insulated from all these dangers.
Right. Well, Sumit, thank you so much for spelling that out for us, and thank you so much for joining us with all your information on the same. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.